The importance of a morning program cannot be overstated. It's the building block of the personal development journey, and it's a simple concept which I'll break down for you now. You got to wake up earlier, like 2, 3, or 4 in the morning. That'll give you 1, 2, 3 extra hours in the day. Now, what do you do with these hours? You do all those things that you know you should be doing, but you can never seem to find time for. There you go. Now you've got time. Things that you've heard like Joe Rogan talk about, or you've read in some books, things that require you to do them every day for you to get any benefit out of them. Things like journaling, weight training, running, meditation, mindfulness training, goal setting. It's up to you what you put in that time. But waking up is hard, I hear you say. Yeah, I know. So I'll go over some things to think about that'll help you decide to give it a go, and some things that to consider when planning it, so that way you can ensure success in the long run. Whenever you decide to attempt a new habit, it's important to put a good amount of thought into your strategy. And for example, you're going to fail a few times. At least you need to understand that. And you don't see it as a failure, because it's only a failure if you stop trying. So if you miss the mark, you stop, you analyze what happened, you didn't manage to get up. Remember, you're breaking a habit of a lifetime. So when you were confronted with that choice to get up or to go back to sleep, what were you thinking at the time? And then try a different tactic next time. Man, go and Google how to wake up early. Hear some things from some other people. Try looking on YouTube. There are other people that have done it for thousands of years. People have been doing it. Look on the YouTube, talk to your friends, look at other people. They're humans just like you, right? It's just the trick of the mind. For me, the secret I use is I just do the don't think method. So when the alarm goes off and there's a lightning bolt of emotion that screams out, every inch of your body saying no, go back to sleep. Then in a flash, you remember why you set the alarm, and then your brain quickly switches to those rationalization tricks to get you to forget why you set the alarm, or countermind that decision to wake up, right? So in that moment when the brain starts to think, I actually say to myself, look, we don't have to wake up at all. Just sit up for a bit on the edge of the bed, and then we can make a decision there, right? I know full well my mental capacity is somehow increased by being in the sitting position. I know this sounds asinine, but our brains and our thoughts are susceptible to these tricks. Your brain tricks you into eating off your diet, right? When you get stressed, or if you're not prepared properly, or you get hungry, right? So this is just understanding a bit of how the brain works and taking advantage of the mechanics of it. Once in the sitting position, your automatic responses take over, and the dissension inside of your thoughts stop, and you go into your morning routine with ease after that. It's also important to understand it's the first win you get over yourself every day, and starting your day with a win is a good way to set up more wins as the day progresses. And winning over your base desires all day builds self-belief and self-confidence, because despite what modern society is trying to teach you, self-confidence cannot be given. You have to earn it through constantly setting tasks for yourself and then achieving those tasks. Our brains are ruthlessly logical, analytical machines, and we can't lose all the time and then think that we're awesome unless something is wrong, like those delusional people, right? So that is what I do in the morning. It's also, I use the same trick on my brain when I'm planning. So I won't say to myself directly, I'm going to wake up every day for the rest of my life early. I'll say, listen, bro, just do it for a week. Or if that's too far, I'll just say, I'm just going to wake up early tomorrow. I learned this one from when I was quitting cigarettes. And I'm sure you've heard like those Alcoholics Anonymous catchphrase of one day at a time. When you're quitting cigarettes, you don't worry about tomorrow. You just say to yourself, I'm not going to smoke the next one. I'm not going to worry about after that. I'll worry about later on. And you build strength as you go every time you get a win over yourself. It makes no sense that you can lie to yourself, but it works. I've listened to Jim Rohn now for over 5 years, and if you haven't had the pleasure, please watch the great man. There are hundreds of hours of lectures of him and lectures and seminars online. He's the master. He says to the question of why to get up early, He says, if you were going where I was going, you'd be up early too. If you were going to meet who I was going to meet, then you'd be getting up early too. Living a life of passion and purpose is a decision, and it's a perspective that you have to cultivate to yourself. When you were a kid and it's Christmas time, you can hardly sleep. You were so, right? You weren't even feeling drowsy. Just bang, you were up, ready to go. And it's the same as if like you've got a big camping trip planned with a family. You hardly even need the alarm. This can be your life if you look at it that way. Just don't think in the moment. It's important to look at your goals and your dreams and your aspirations and say to yourself, I'm doing this to get to there. Honestly, it makes all the difference. We talk a lot about work-life balance and burnout these days. People don't burn out because of the amount of work they do. The limit to human endurance is unfathomable. If you are working for a purpose that is greater than yourself, but if you go to work hating yourself and hating your life, it stands to reason that you'll hate your work and it'll wear you down over time. Work-life balance people think that everything will be better if they can leave work early and spend the time with their family. But when in the presence of their family, they're just sitting watching the screen or busy worried about their own life. It's not about how much time you have with your kids. It's what you do with that time. It's how you use it. Are you taking the time to give them your full attention? Are you logging what it is you've been talking about, the different discussion points, and talking to them about topics that will develop them next time, building strong rapport so that you'll be able to support them through all the trials and that are going to come in their life? Raising kids is a challenging undertaking and one that requires a nuanced approach because not one technique works on all of your kids the same, as they all have different needs according to their different natures. Or do you think that rigid discipline is the best way to raise your kids? Or do you think complete freedom is the best way to raise your kids? Please comment your thoughts and your perspective on your child raising techniques. I'm interested. Do you agree with me or not? It's all how you look at it, or it's all your perspective. And like I say to myself, that I'll be up before my alarm, I'm just so keen to get after it. And I know what most of the time I do. I wake up, it's 2:30 in the morning. Sounds early, right? But I feel great. And I've been 2:30 waking up for the past 3 years. So this brings me to my final point today. Everyone thinks about what you are sacrificing, not what you will receive from the practice. So apart from the stuff that I just mentioned, all the extra time that you're going to get to do your personal development and winning the morning, every major religion has to sacrifice something we love element to it. Whether it's sacrificing food by fasting, or sacrificing time to go to church or temple, or maybe sacrificing comfort by kneeling for extended periods, whatever it is, it has been understood that really to receive something, you have to give something away of value to you. And what you receive back is multiple times the value then of the thing that you sacrificed originally. It's really a scam that works in your favor. So please, here's some of the tips that's helped me throughout the years. I hope some of this helped. Thank you. Please like and subscribe and follow. Bye.